Welcome, algorithms, to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. I'm your judge, Al Reynolds, and today we're diving into the legal battles that have captured headlines and divided some of you all's public opinion. I'm joined by my esteemed legal experts who I call my legal beagles, and tonight, the one and only, the fiery civil attorney, Shatan Turner, is joining me tonight on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Shatan, welcome to Celebrity Court.
Thank you for having me, Your Honor. I got to tell you, you are the only person who would take me away from making my mac and cheese tonight. So I got lots of work to do tomorrow.
Is it any good?
Oh, it is everything. Let me tell you. I'll share some with you sometime.
All right, we might have to get into that menu. All right, up next, lawyer, humorist, the one, the only, Sean Carter. Sean Carter, welcome back to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion.
Happy to be here. And Shatan, I don't believe you. You too skinny to make really good macaroni.
I know exactly. She's way too skinny. I will give her this. Her kids do look healthy now. She got 3, so she's keeping them alive. So she.
All right.
There you go.
All right, everybody. I'm having red wine in celebration of Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for my algoriters. I'm thankful for the opportunity to continue to educate and to entertain on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate everyone for your follows, your likes, your subscriptions. And we got more coming in December and also in 2025. So that's just a personal shout out and a big thank you as I spend time reflecting on Thanksgiving. Would either of the counselors like to share anything that they're thankful about?
I'm so thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my discernment, and I am thankful for those 3 beautiful kids that you mentioned and that my parents are healthy.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I'm thankful I'm not any of these people we're going to talk about tonight.
All right, only you, Attorney Carter. All right, everybody, don't forget to throw in that fire emoji for Counselor Turner, and also the clown emoji for Counselor Carter, and the facts emoji for me here for the algoriters, who's always going to bring you the facts as it relates to the law in these cases. All right, court is now in session. All right, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that share button because we want you to share with your friends the nice show, Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. Also, turn on your notifications. Next week, we're starting a financial literacy conversation with some experts teaching you how to get rich in 2025 and also how to maintain that wealth and pass it on for generations. We're going to start that with one of our, not our legal beagles, we're going to call them our financial beagles. All right. And also, don't forget to drop down in those comments because we can't live without those comments, correct? All right, first up, Wendy Williams. Welcome back to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. Wendy Williams, the former daytime ITV icon, has been deemed permanently incapacitated due to dementia. A legal guardian now manages her personal and financial affairs as concerns over her health continues to grow. I'm going to throw this to you, Attorney Turner, because you work in the healthcare system. And what I want us to explain to the algoriters is the difference between a financial incapacitated and a medical incapacitated, because a lot of people were saying that she was incapacitated, meaning she was not able to, she's not alive. She's like in some type of a coma. Can you please tell us what this legal incapacitated terminology means legally?
Yeah, so there are layers to incapacity and layers to guardianship. Guardianship is a legal proceeding that means that someone has been adjudicated incompetent. That means a court has decided that they cannot make their own decisions. Now, you can have a plenary guardianship. Plenary guardianship means that you can't do anything for yourself, make medical decisions, make financial decisions, make any decisions, or you can have limited types of guardianship that have carve-outs for different things. And so your healthcare team may say, we need to seek guardianship because this person is unable to make medical decisions. And so we need someone to make medical decisions for them. We are not the person or the entity responsible for whether or not they can make financial decisions. So we're not seeking that. We're only seeking somebody to make medical decisions so that we know what to do with this person while they're in the hospital. But if you have a plenary guardianship, that's the broadest category. But even if you have that, sometimes there are things that the guardian can't do. So like in Pennsylvania, if you have a guardianship over a person and that person becomes pregnant and requires an abortion, for example, plenary guardianship is not enough to allow you to get an abortion for that person. You need a specific order saying that you have the authority to abort a baby for that person. And part of that is because Pennsylvania, even though abortion is legal, we're profoundly pro-life and try to take every measure to make sure that people, fetuses have the opportunity to survive. So, I was going to say, in one case, they're saying, this is not a legal term, but she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're saying that she can't do anything, right? And so that is what they're saying. And I think the Lifetime show that everyone witnessed did give us all pause about her ability to conduct her own affairs.
Well, attorneys, let me ask this question, because this is what concerns me as in the court of public opinion, celebrity court of public opinion, that concerns me. Is why isn't this role taken on by her parents? Or why isn't this role taken on by her brother? Or even why isn't this role taken on by her son? He's of age. Like what has to be so bad that your family is not even allowed to take on those responsibilities? Because I remember the last 3 years of my mother's life, my mother had Alzheimer's. And so someone had to take on those responsibilities. And I was the person to take on those responsibilities. It was given to a family member. And I'm the youngest of the six. So
you're the smartest. Don't tell your dad I said that. Go ahead.
Tell my sister you said that. No, I think at the time it was because I was I had the most flexibility, right? Like I wasn't married anymore. I don't have any kids. My job situation, I moved to working, Sunday to Wednesday, and I could fly back in to be with her on the weekends and have control over her finances and everything. So tell me though, counselors, why wouldn't the courts move to have her family take this first line instead of a guardian from and these are paid guardians, because I had them when I was a private banker. These are paid guardians that are assigned from your financial institution. Why would they choose a complete stranger instead of a family member?
Well, you have to remember that the courts can only decide the matters that before them. So courts are not out there like reaching out and say, oh, this person needs help. Let us identify who is equipped to do it. Do they have family? Courts only are involved in the guardianship process if someone is petitioning for guardianship. And so I don't know the nuances of Wendy's case, but what must have happened is that either the family did not want to do it because it's a lot of work, or somebody determined that the family was an inappropriate person to serve as. So whoever petitioned for it may have indicated that the family wasn't making good decisions for her. That in healthcare, and not to get too much into healthcare, but in healthcare, the guardianship is a path of last resort. So you only get a guardian to make your healthcare decisions if there's nobody else in the hierarchy of the state statute that's supposed to make decisions for you.
Which is I don't understand. Wouldn't her mother and father be ideal candidates to watch over her, at least until they're not able to do it?
I mean, well, that's the thing is, Wendy's our age, right? Well, my age, right? So her parents have got to be in their late 70s, maybe 80s, assuming they're even there. Mm-hmm. So you probably wouldn't want to give them that extra burden, right? Okay. Now maybe brothers and sisters, but oftentimes there's concern, that Attorney Turner mentioned that, these people might not have her best interest at heart. I imagine, as it was said that, that petition was made by a financial institution, the people at Lifetime, her employer, somebody other than family members, because family members, right, usually would petition for guardianship. And I know a little bit about this. We have guardianship over one of our adult sons. And, we went to court, we filed the paperwork, and we were going to take care of them. But, if the state had to do it, they would have had to hire somebody, separately.
Separately. Okay. All right. I want to read what Daniel Cameron said. I'm a boy mom. I couldn't imagine my boys taking care of me. I believe they will Febreze me on the couch. Oh, Danielle. Oh, my God. She said for her, but I want to save money just in case. That is hilarious. Dominic Brooks says, I honestly don't think having the family in control would be any good. You don't think so? Oh, and then Candy said her mother passed. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't think her dad is in good health, Candy said. Okay, Delira Washington said her mother passed. Okay, her dad's not in good health. Well, what about the brother? The brother has been very vocal about her health state. I know they haven't talked for a while, but her dad is 90 years old. Okay.
There's also another thing here, because we're talking about this only in connection with a case. And the case that we're talking about involves the Lifetime documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? And what the Guardian is doing is saying, hey, you got her permission to do this. By the way, she was actually executive producer on this program. And you put in this information that violates her privacy, that makes her look bad when she did not have the mental capacity. This is probably an argument that the family members wouldn't have been nuanced enough to make. It's kind of good in this context that she has a professional.
What about that niece? You guys remember the niece? You remember the niece from the documentary where she said that was her favorite aunt? She was interviewed by Oprah. She worked on television. What about that niece? She couldn't be found competent?
It's a lot of work too. The family might not have wanted to do it. So one of the things that we find is that there's actually even a shrinking number of people who are willing to do it as a pay guardian, because even when you get paid, it's like 2 cents. So, and you have to keep all this records. If you're the guardian, you have to have pristine record keeping to avoid the appearance of impropriety. And so it's possible they didn't want to sign up for it. It's not like by being guardian, they become heirs to her estate. If that was the case, you'd probably have a lot of family in line because they were like, oh, we'll be first. All you have as a guardian is to do thankless work. You make sure that her bills are paid. You make sure that she's taken care of. You have to show up to these meetings at the hospital, right? And the family might be going to those anyway, but it's a whole lot of stuff and they might not want to do it. They might say, you know what, we'll outsource that and we'll just love Wendy.
This is
it is a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. So much work. For instance, I'm the lawyer in the family. My wife does that. She can't trust me with all that paperwork. That's just way too much paperwork for me. And I'm a lawyer. She's like, no, I don't trust you. And it means everything. You got to document.
You have the son somewhere.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I definitely wouldn't, it's not something to do for fun. You'd have to have a real good reason.
Okay, got it. All right, everybody, I did skip over. Let's talk really quickly, just for, a little bit of a giggle. Guess what Diddy and R. Kelly have in common? Their Thanksgiving lunch, as well as their breakfast.
In jail. You got to do Simone Redwine's thing. They in jail.
Yeah. So let's start with you, Attorney Carter. What do you think they're serving them, for breakfast and lunch and dinner?
I think I have it here. So let's see. R. Kelly is getting for breakfast that morning. He gets some hot oatmeal with breakfast cake or whole wheat bread with jelly. For lunch, now lunch is a big meal there, and it kind of makes sense. We do Thanksgiving kind of early here too, but for lunch they're really going all out for him. So for lunch he gets, he gets some turkey, chicken noodle soup. There's by the way a veggie option, and then the sides include mashed potatoes with gravy, yams, green beans, corn, cranberry sauce, dinner rolls, and fruit. And an assortment of holiday pies, whatever that is. And then here's the weird part is, after you get that good lunch, relatively, all right, remember, there's no mac and cheese, all right? There's no potato salad. There's no chitlins or pig feet, and however you do Thanksgiving.
You're in jail. This menu to me sounds better than a lot of homeless people.
Shoot. Well, maybe, but guess what? For dinner that night, you don't get leftovers like we're gonna have. Like I'm gonna have 2 dinners at least, right? No. They get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner.
Wow.
So the big meal is lunch to get, the stuff. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of reasons not to be in jail, but this is some of them. I don't want to have that Thanksgiving. You know it ain't gonna be seasoned right.
Miss P said for dessert they getting bussy. You know what? Order in the court, Miss P. Miss P, I'm holding you in contempt. Not bussy, Miss P.
With baby
Miss P,
oil
really?
on
You know what I thought was funny was that at R. Kelly's facility, R. Kelly was moved from Chicago. He's now in prison in North Carolina. I can't remember the name of the town that he's in. But in North Carolina, he gets the option of roasted turkey or hot and sour tofu. How interesting is that? He gets the tofu option, and he doesn't get breakfast cake. He gets breakfast pastries. Down in North Carolina, they throw together some pastries for you.
You mean Pop-Tarts? That's what they get in Pop-Tarts.
So
not even toasted.
Well, maybe a muffin.
Yeah, little basket. Miss Keith.
They both get dinner rolls and fruit. So I think that's pretty healthy. I mean, to me, it sounds pretty good. Algoritms, what do you guys think? Drop down in the comments and tell me what do you guys think about this lunch or turkey Thanksgiving meal that these 2 criminals are having. Seems pretty good to me. Seems extensive too. I will say this: growing up, I ate very similar things. Never got the cranberry sauce though. That was like extra. That was if you went to your auntie's house. That in our household.
These are sows. I'm not sure, or says. I'm not sure how to say it, but she said, "Is this why homeless people cut up to get locked up instead of living on the streets?"
Probably so, right? Oh, Butner. That's right. Gigi K 77, you're right. Butner, North Carolina is where R. Kelly is. Let's see. Any other? Are they about to have? Let's see.
Yeah, 3 hots in a cot. Have you ever heard that expression, Your Honor?
What?
3 hots in a cot. That's
what
they
3
say.
hot meals in a cot. Yes, I have. There's a whole dissertation and PhD programs where people have examined the imprisonment of African American men and how a lot of men feel like that the prison system protects them more, provides housing for them more, and food more. So some of them choose to go to prison instead of, being civilians out in society. Okay, next up, Angelina Jolie. Welcome to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. Angelina Jolie scores a win in a winery lawsuit against Brad Pitt. Angelina Jolie achieved a major legal victory in her ongoing winery lawsuit against her ex-husband, Brad Pitt. The case revolves around ownership disputes of their shares in the wine business Chateau Maraval. Okay, Attorney Turner, let's start with you. Tell me what's going on here, because from what I understand, the dispute began when Jolie sold her 50% stake in the winery to Tenute del Mondo, a subsidiary of the Stoli Group, in 2021. Now, Pitt subsequently sued Jolie, alleging she agreed not to sell her shares without his consent. He claims the sale was an intentional move to harm him and that it violated a contractual agreement giving him first right of refusal. I have to say, Attorney Turner, now you're going through a divorce, but this sounds like a little mean under the table stab, because the wine product was doing so well. It really would have doubled, if not tripled, his net worth if she had sold the 50% back to him as contractually agreed. What are your thoughts about this, Attorney Turner?
Well, I think we want to unpack this and not necessarily impute some sort of motive on the part of Angelina Jolie.
Oh, gosh, here we go.
Since Brian's not here, I got to stand up for the woman. But I mean, the other thing is that she would have also benefited from that increase. So I think one of the things, there are 2 things about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie that are interesting to me. One, I'm kind of heartbroken they're not together anymore, because looking at Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they had all kinds of chemistry, but I am a witness that it can start out hot and then just get to not. So Yeah. So anyway, I guess it didn't work for them. Their divorce is still not final. So for all those people who were following it when they were courting their now spouse and they got pregnant and now their kids are in kindergarten, their divorce has been going on that long. It's been like 8 or 9 years, right? And it's all been because of money. So what I suspect is that she may have gotten rid of this property because she wants out of the marriage officially. And she's like, just come after me for breach of contract if you can come after me for breach of contract. But she was found to be all right with it. So, I mean, I'm really not sure. I think Brad, I mean, this is not my situation. They have all kind of money. They have more than Caucasian money. They got 1%, 0.5%, lots of money, right? I ain't like that. So every dollar matters to me. But for them, there is so much money that they might just want to call it a wash and leave it alone. They have kids together. Brad may be pursuing this because the kids don't like him, aren't speaking to him, and are changing their name from Pitt. And he might blame her. Yeah, he might be blaming her. So he's like, well, if I can't have my kids, I'm going to get my money.
So let me ask you this, Attorney Carter. Pat has accused Jolie of breaching various legal doctrines. Like, this is not her first one. And he said it, you know, and it includes, but not limited to, implied in fact contracts, quasi contracts, and the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing. Why is she being so difficult when she is the one that initiated the divorce?
Well, here's the thing is, so she initiates the divorce, right? They have this winery together, right? She goes out, sells half of it to Stoley people. They're supposed to be a family business. He said, hey, it's supposed to be a family business. I had a right of first refusal. And here's what's interesting is she says, yeah, and he would have agreed to the sale if I agreed to sign a DNA saying that I won't talk about all the fool he acted during the marriage.
Oh, dang.
And she says, no, I'm not doing that because I want to be able to talk about how you acted a fool up in this marriage. And the victory, no, seriously. And the victory she got today wasn't that she didn't win the case. She didn't win the sale. She might have to give the money back, but she now gets to introduce in the court how he was acting a fool up during the marriage. And I mean, acting a fool, in a way that's weird to me. All right, cheating. I'm not condoning it. I could see it. Right. This is violence. You know, they were on a private jet in 2016 from France to LA, and he starts yelling at her, choking her, slapping the kids. And I'm like, I don't get this. Here's why I don't get about Brad Pitt. I could understand that kind of rage if he was ugly. See, if you were ugly in life, I understand the rage.
An ugly Negro,
right? You are a lawyer. You know this, right?
Exactly. You are that good looking, right? You're one of the 5 or 6 best looking men in the world. What you mad about? What you mad about? And I don't get it. Like when you're on a private jet, what could the kids have done? Spill Grey Poupon? What do you care? Right? Make the ugly person clean it up. You rich, married to a beautiful woman, and you mad at people? So I hope she get what she get, but this ain't about the money, right? This is more about the fact. Matter of fact, here's the thing is she's so mad. The chances are excellent if they cancel the sale. Her half of the share that she sold for $67 million are worth more now. They're worth $80 million. So it's to her financial advantage to cancel the sale. She don't want to do that. She want to make sure that she can tell everybody that he was acting a fool in the marriage. And, you know, I can't really blame her because I don't get it. Seriously. And here's what I don't get. Every week we on here, we're going to talk about some brothers who acting a fool. Somehow Brad Pitt has gotten completely scot-free. All right, for being the alleged domestic abuser. We don't think of him like that. I still think of him as a little pretty boy in what was that one? Thelma and Louise.
Let's be very clear, Counselor. Angelina Jolie has not been a saint now. If you go down through her product, she has done some crazy things like drinking blood and eating the heads off of animals and stuff.
Well, but Al, so here's the
thing. She's not no innocent bystander, because if a woman that pretty is drinking blood and satanic worshiping and eating animals, I gotta look at you side-eyed too now.
Well, Your Honor, you have to remember though the timeline, because even prostitutes are like respectable once they get old. All of Angelina Jolie's transgressions and weirdness.
order in the court. You will order it. Hold on. Order in the court.
All of that in her 30s when she.
So wait a minute, counselor.
She even recovered from being an adulteress, right?
Counselor,
She stole him from
Counselor.
Jennifer Aniston.
Counselor, ma'am. Hello, order in my court. Are you trying to tell me that it is okay for a woman to practice and exercise indiscretion all through their 20s and 30s, but as they become older, 40s and 50s, we're supposed to ignore those indiscretions and pretend like it never happened?
Your Honor, I know you know some old hoes that stopped hoeing about 15 years ago. And they are legitimate now, right? They in the church, they sing in the choir. It is all good. They act like that never happened. They found Jesus.
Sunday school.
Here's the thing is, but seriously, Brad Pitt gotten away totally scot-free on this, and I think we need to memorialize. Here's what I thought about today, all right? He had that winery, because he was acting like Jack Nicholson, all right, in The Shining. All right, so imagine these kids, they should remake The Shining, but star Brad Pitt, put them in the field in the winery, and have them chasing the kids, right, through the field. Talking about, here's Brady.
What are you drinking? Because I'm done. What are we drinking?
Margarita.
Margarita.
Had
one margarita.
Substance abuse problem. He said that Cutie Patootie, the other guy from that movie with Lady Gaga, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's so fine, from The Hangover. What's his name? That guy. You
still making up excuses for that woman.
No,
Danielle Cameron said, let's remember. Danielle Cameron said, let's remember she stole Brad. So if you ask me, she got what she stole.
That other guy, who I'm blanking on his name, I think he's the finest man in Hollywood. The one from The Hangover, the fine guy from The Hangover.
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
Yes, Bradley Cooper. He also used to have a substance abuse problem. He and Brad Pitt connected at an event, and apparently he turned Brad Pitt onto AA. So now Brad Pitt is sober. Now that's what he says was going on in the plane. So I think the reason, Attorney Carter, that he hasn't been maligned as much as other people about his transgressions, because he said, I was a drunk and now I'm sober. And so just like Tiger Woods said, I was a sex addict and now I got treatment. Like, you got to find your thing. That's what Diddy needs to come out with. Diddy needs to
get out of here. Okay. All right.
Here's the thing is, and we got to be the last thing on the alcoholism, right? Because while we're drinking, we can talk about this. I kind of think it's this way, right? Here's the thing is, there are two types of drunks, all right? There are those who will kiss you in the mouth or kick you in the mouth, all right? And that's a reflection of who you are, all right? I'll give you an example. If I get drunk, all right, somebody getting kissed. All right, I don't care who it is, but somebody getting kissed. But if I'm sitting around punching people, that means I'm kind of mad in the daytime, and I just can hold it in. So I'm still gonna give you a little asshole credit for that. You ain't right.
Attorney, are you gonna kiss or kick?
Oh, I'm a social drunk, my brother said, because I was drunk recently at an event with him. And if I was out there in these streets like I want to be, I would have been kissing everybody. My brother was there, and I'm still trying to be holy because I got a point to prove. But once it's over, it's on.
All right, algorithm, this show is going downhill from here. You should hit that like button. The likes aren't liking. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, please hit the share button. And invite a friend or two, or even a family member or a church member over to learn the law while we also entertain you like we are doing tonight. Please turn on your notifications. Next week, we're starting a financial show to help you learn how to get your coins up, as well as learn how to pass them down to your family members that you want to leave a legacy to. Also, jump down in these comments like I can see tonight. We really enjoy your engagement, and we want to get to any questions that you may have as it relates to any of the topics. Okay, next up, this is going to be good. Drake. Welcome to Celebrity Court. Drake files second lawsuit against Universal Music Group. Drake has launched his second legal action against Universal Music Group, alleging defamation and claims of pay for play. The rapper's ongoing legal disputes highlights growing tension with his label. Ooh, if this is not juicy. Is this juicy, or is this belly aching, crying, upset because he's like losing the rap battle against Kendrick Lamar? Attorney Carter, what say you?
This is trying to stay out of jail. And here's what I mean by this, right? Is that Drake's songs, or that I'm sorry, the one song, well, many of them, but They Not Like Us, right? Really,
no, that's not his song. That's
Kendrick song.
That's
I'm sorry, Kendrick Lamar song. That really puts Drake out there as a pedophile, all right, as a sexual predator.
Yes.
And remember how this works in the U.S. You can get away with a lot of BS for a long time, but if they make a documentary, all right, surviving Drake, all right, you're gonna have trouble. Now imagine this: Kendrick Lamar is gonna be at the Super Bowl, singing, all right, certified lover, certified pedophile, all right, to 1 billion people. That will get people, all right, to start looking at it and going, wait a minute, maybe we need to Diddy you. And as a result, I really think this entire move is to keep those words out of Kendrick Lamar's mouth during the Super Bowl. File a defamation case, put them on notice, say, hey, if you say this in the Super Bowl, this is gonna be defamation. You're gonna owe us a bunch of money. Say the other lyrics. We don't care about that. All right, but keep this stuff out of your mouth, because seriously, I mean, that's, and I'm being flippant about it, but not really.
Right.
What a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff out there, but when it gets the Fed's attention is when you get everybody else's attention. Remember Diddy?
I think that's a good point, Attorney Carter, because I think a lot of people have been, labeling him as, like a crybaby. But I think that his legal team has come forward on this in two ways. One, let's talk about the actual lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit is saying that that they have been paid to play his song over and over on the radios, the labels, Spotify, on Apple Play, on the radio. And Funkmaster Flex actually came to Drake's defense and said it's very true. And he broke down what everyone gets paid and what people were being paid as it related to this song that Kendrick Lamar penned. Now, the other side of that, and I want to go to you, Attorney Turner, on this. I think it's a smart move because remember, the Super Bowl is probably one of the most watched events of the year. It's up there with the Oscars and it's up there with the Olympics. Now, the interesting part is that it's also the most, so allegedly, family-friendly event that everyone from the ages of 3 to 300 are watching. So how significant is it that he's bringing this lawsuit to halt Kendrick Lamar's ability of making these type of claims or using those lyrics during the Super Bowl?
I mean, that's a lot to unpack, but I think you're right that it legitimizes the argument for censorship. Because if it is a family show and you're trying to cut out calling someone a pedophile, then your argument might be stronger than it would be than, say, doing it at a regular football game or some other sort of thing, because the goal isn't to be family friendly. I mean, we all remember when Justin Timberlake exposed Janet Jackson and she was wearing a pasty over her nipple, and that was the biggest scandal ever, and it created all of these things with delays in television. That was a function of what you're saying. It was a family show. So I think that Drake, one, let's set aside for a second that Drake is known for being a whiny crybaby, allegedly. Let's focus on why else he might do it, right? So if I'm Drake, I'm thinking They're Not Like Us, and you saw me jamming to it on the side because it's a catchy song. My kids like it. I think they only listen to the one that's censored. But Kendrick Lamar is profiting off of Drake. So when they tell you to follow the money, right? Follow the money. So by Drake making a big deal of this, like there might be some like Bubba and his double wide in Kentucky who ain't never heard of Drake might hear of Drake because of the controversy about him challenging the song. And so now, instead of him just being laughed at, people are looking for him too. So he might be looking for some residual money as a result of amplifying his involvement in it. The second thing is that I think that Funkmaster Flex is probably right, because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Dreamgirls or the play.
Yes.
The premise of it, do you remember at the end when the Barry Gordy-like character was getting arrested? It was because he had engaged in payola, which is the entire system that they have alleged in this lawsuit. So, you know, that was patterned after what allegedly happened in the 60s. And I think that's just how the game is played. Like, people do exchange money in order to pay certain songs. But Drake's saying, look, you were my label, and now you're in cahoots against me. You were supposed to be my agent promoting my interests, and instead you sold me down the river. And if you did that, then I deserve to get paid too, because I'm on that song.
I like it. Okay, let's go to the chat real quick. So Amisha Ward said Drake needs to just take that L. He came back with diss tracks, but they didn't stick. He's acting like a Karen to me. What say you, Attorney Carter, about that? Abby NYC, the MM family, said he was not convinced of being a pedo. He was not convicted of being a pedo in the court of law. Queen Riley said no one cried over no Vaseline or hit him up. Drake could handle this behind the scenes. Ooh.
Yeah. And it's entirely possible. But I think about it from, you know, Drake's perspective. I certainly, if I was his legal team, would certainly be putting the word out to Kendrick that we might be thinking about a defamation case here.
For sure.
It's a strong defamation case, right? When you say, you know, when you make these allegations against someone and there's been no criminal complaints filed against them, no charges, no anything, then you really have a fairly strong defamation case. And like I said, it's not to get Kendrick's money or anything like that. It's just to get him from making it song so they don't do Survive and Drink
so much. Right.
Can I say something funny though? And it's really inappropriate, but you told me to drink wine tonight, and so I'm gonna say it. So one is, I put in this chat to them, Hit 'Em Up was my jam. If you ever want to know what a real diss track is, listen to Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. But the other thing is, let's think about this. Look at how far we have come since when Suge Knight and Diddy were in charge of East Coast and West Coast, right? People would have died. Wouldn't nobody been filing no lawsuit talking about it?
Progress.
It did.
All right, Jay Wadley said, attorney question. Drake should play chess. Rather than go after the other artists, also go after the NFL, which can mute that particular lyric with a 7-second TV delay. I just think he doesn't want it. I think he's trying to get it. Anybody that touched the song or participate in the song may become a person that may get sued. And I think that could be a smart thing. All right.
Can I say one quick thing about that, though, is one of the things that's a common misconception with people who aren't lawyers is that you can sue people for what might happen. So he can't sue the NFL right now because he haven't violated anything. What the best he could do is...
But I think what he did was basically, by making this so public, is putting him on notice.
Exactly.
If you're going to have him perform, it's okay if you have him perform, but if you think he's going to perform this song, you've been put on notice that if you do, you might be on the other side of the law. All right, everybody, let's keep it moving. Next up, my goodness, as if this wasn't enough. Trey Songz, welcome to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. Trey Songz is ordered to pay $11 million after battery case. Trey Songz faces an $11 million judgment after being found liable for battery against a police officer. This ruling adds to the singer's growing list of legal troubles. Now, I want to make sure, I'm not 100% sure, algorithms, but I know that we have a video, but I don't know that this is the correct video. Algorithms, let me know if this is the correct video. Okay, so Trey Songz was ordered to pay $11 million in damages to Maryland Capitol Police Officer Tyrell Dunn after a default judgment in a civil battery lawsuit. The case stemmed from a 2021 incident where Dunn alleged he was injured during an altercation with Songz trying to help his wife, who claimed to have been held against her will in Songz' hotel room. The judgment covers medical expenses, pain and suffering, and punitive damages. Songz did not respond to the lawsuit, leading to the default judgment. So maybe that wasn't the correct video, correct? No. All right. So I will pass this to you, Attorney Carter. What are your thoughts on this? So if I'm understanding this correctly, the woman is in his hotel room. How did she get there?
Believe it or not, hotel security brought her there. I don't know the context of why she knew and why she wanted to go. She said she wanted to go for an autograph. It almost seems like one of those backstage pass type things where it's like, okay, I want to go. No, seriously, I want to go meet the artist. And but the husband was nearby. So what happens is he hears her inside the room screaming. He goes to then try to get her out, and Trey Songz and his security people beat the dude up, fracture his orbital bone, all that type of stuff.
What?
Okay. Yeah. And so, by the way, the police looked into that incident, for some reason didn't press charges. And I'd like to give Trey the benefit of the doubt, but I'm looking at here 6 other incidents of similar stuff. 2013 assault at a party, 2016 in LA. By the way, he goes nationwide too. All right, Miami in a nightclub, he's grabbing people. 2015 in a house party, Las Vegas, in New York, he's got an assault. And it's just like, bruh, you know, this is ridiculous. You good looking. All right. There are women and men who would have slept with you for free. And you're going to try to find the one woman who's not interested in you to then, you know, attack her. I don't get this at all. You know, once again, these are ugly people.
What do you say, Attorney Turner, when he says, listen, these ladies want me. That's why they're asking to come to my hotel room. I didn't ask them to come to my hotel room. They asking to come to my hotel room. What do people say? And you know, that's what he said about all these other sexual assault cases that have been brought up to him. He said he's being set up. These women have come after him. It's not him coming after them. What are your thoughts on that?
Just because he can sing and has a nice body does not mean everybody wants him. And I think that's a common misconception for too many good-looking men, think that they're desirable and nobody can resist. The second thing is that if anybody has ever been kicking it, right, you can end up in a hotel room for a variety of reasons, and it does not mean you want to put out. And Trey Songz is probably too young to remember when Mike Tyson got caught up in some mess, right? Because he was with the girl who was in that pageant, and she said that she just wanted to hang out with him, didn't want to sleep with him, but he thought because she was there that she wanted to sleep with him. So the message to the alligators is, if you have sons who have aspirations of being famous or just have aspirations of having sex with women, then you need to tell them that just because someone is there, you don't assume that that's what they want to do. And in this case, it sounds like this woman was probably caught up with her friends, partying, having a good time, did not think that, you know, being there was a guarantee that she was going to put out. She calls her husband, like, come get me. He comes there to get her. And then Trey Songz takes it to a next level. So even if he was confused about why she was there when she got there, when her man came and was like, let her out, now you fighting somebody to my
I don't know, counselor. Sorry. Y'all gonna hate me for this one, but if you don't know Trey Songz' MO by now, I didn't know. I'm just saying, if you don't know his MO by now and you're a fan and you go to his hotel room and you don't know all the stories that all these women have told to date, you must be hidden underneath a rock. And especially since your husband is a police officer. Counselor Carter, where is the responsibility for these people that put themselves in these situations knowing better until they don't like it? Like, is there
they have no responsibility.
There's no
responsibility. None. And you can go to a man's room, you can get naked if you want to, butt naked, and he still is not allowed to touch you until you say, "Bring it to me, daddy." And those are the exact words you have to use. That's what in the law. Look it up.
Bring it to me, daddy.
Bring it to me, daddy. All right.
That's why Jay-Z made that song. Give it to me.
No, it's seriously though. You know, it's like the idea. And men, I understand as men, we get it confused. We think, and here's what we think. We think I wouldn't go up there unless I wanted to get me some. That's not the way all women think about it. Some women just want to be in your presence. Just think you wonderful, think you interesting, might have something to say, and therefore you don't get to assume just because she up there that that's what she wants, even though that's the only reason you will be up there. I get it.
So LP Coyote Moncure Smith said you can bend over and let that thing breathe, and that still don't mean that he can have it.
Exactly, because as Attorney Carter saying, I can't show, okay, so I have the thing, but yeah, my phone, you might just be up there to get a selfie for the gram, right? Now all of a sudden they making all kinds of assumptions.
Attorney Turner, you sound crazy. Attorney, stop it, please.
I'm telling the truth. If you don't want to catch a case, do not assume. Do not assume.
Okay, so do you think maybe this could be the reason why Kevin Liles has kind of stepped aside from managing him and stepping down from his label with Trey Songz?
Also, they ain't making no money. I looked at it. His best song of all time is number 9 on the Billboard charts. That's a lot of trouble. You got to have a lot of hit songs before you start pulling some stuff like this. Or you pull stuff like this, you got to be like Michael Jackson. You do a Thriller album, you get a couple kids. We understand. But you do not get to just assault people, all right, because you got a number 9 hit. Ooh, ah. All right, that ain't nothing. All right, I got a number 12 hit. All right, you don't get to do that.
Okay, Dominique Brooks says, okay, Al, don't come for my girl, Satan. Are y'all serious right now? Y'all falling for Satan's shenanigans?
Protect me.
All right, I'm with you, Abby, NYC, the MM family. There's nothing open after midnight in a hotel room but a pair of legs. Amen. Amen. All right, Abby, you and I are definitely on the same page, especially when you know that man has a long history of sexual assault. A long history of sexual assault. If you are a fan in his hotel and you want special escort to his room, then you know about him. You know his songs. You can sing them. You follow him on all the blogs. You know what's going on with Trey Songz. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know that no means no. I will always will respect that. But I'm just saying, and somebody's got to say it, and I will say it.
but still, so you said
still my bill.
Nobody cares you said it. I'm just kidding. But Attorney Carter makes a great point.
What is it?
Of course.
Why is he bothering with these women who are equivocating when he could get people who would open their legs in the lobby? Like, there are plenty of women who would have done that. So I don't even know how he keeps getting caught up. He must like a challenge and he's betting wrong.
Yeah,
I think we need a psychiatrist here. I think it has a lot to do with control. All right, our time is running out. Let's keep it moving. All right, Rudy Giuliani. Well, actually, before we get to Rudy Giuliani, all right, everybody, we got more people in the chat tonight. Please hit that like button. Please, for me, for Thanksgiving, can everyone just reach over on your phone, reach over on your laptop, hit that like button. If you're watching us on TV, all you have to do is go back to your settings. You'll see the like button. Hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, please be sure to hit that share button. Turn on your notifications because we got some new shows coming up in December. And also continue to jump down in these comments because we're enjoying you 110% night on Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Next up, Rudy Giuliani. Welcome to Celebrity Court. Rudy Giuliani clashes with judge over defamation payment. Rudy Giuliani argues he cannot afford to pay a $10 million defamation judgment in a tense courtroom exchange. Giuliani's financial woes deepen as he faces mounting legal challenges. I wish we had that video where he spoke about this, but I have to tell you, I have no remorse. I don't feel sorry for him 1 minute. Attorney Carter, what say you?
Oh no, this is almost getting to be fun. with Giuliani. Giuliani, by the way, understand that the 10 million ain't nothing. He owes $148 million to the two sisters in Georgia, all right, that he defamed, said that they had cheated on the election, named him my name, dummy. And now these sisters own everything Rudy will ever make again, which won't be anywhere near 148 million. Because by the way, he's been disbarred in New York and DC, so he can't practice law. I don't know how much Uber he got to drive to pay $148 million back. But he got to drive to China a lot. All right. And I don't even know if you can get Uber to China, but I know if you do, he gonna do it. He gonna be doing the submarine thing. It's ridiculous. And I don't even, like I said, I don't feel bad for him, because here's the best part about it is he didn't even get caught lying for himself. See, I understand if you were lying for yourself, exactly. You're lying for somebody else. Right. And you end up losing all your money, your license, everything. He talking about how he don't have money.
He loses his legacy in essence.
That too. Everything for Trump. Not for him. It'd be one thing if you told your own lies. Like, yeah, I can get that. All right. But he lying for somebody else. Dummy. No sympathy.
Attorney Turner, I know you're on mute, but can you help us understand why wouldn't he? Is there a way that Trump could overturn this ruling, or is it too late to overturn this ruling? That's question number one. Hold that thought. And question number two is, I'm no legal beagle like you guys, but I would assume, why not file for bankruptcy?
Well, he has.
Does that protect him from having to pay them?
They stand in line. So bankruptcy is how it gets awarded. It's a series of where the creditors fall. So it doesn't preclude you from suit, right? Bankruptcy has to do with whether or not you have to honor the judgment and in what order do you have to honor the judgment. But people can keep suing him for his misdeeds. And it seems like he's done enough of them because they keep coming, right? So the question of whether President Trump could intervene and pardon him from civil judgments, I don't believe it.
No, right. Okay. That's a civil judgment.
Yeah, that's not something that can help him. So he's just out there, in the wind. What he should have done, and I feel sorry for Rudy, right?
What?
Rudy, listen, just because of this.
Wait, hold on, Attorney Turner. Are you sure? Remember these Black women shared that they had people outside of their homes. Right. They were stalking them. They had death threats on a regular. People were calling their phones. People were after their kids, after their family. They were frightened for their life. They couldn't live in their homes. Are you serious?
No. Let me finish my what I was going to say. I don't feel sorry for him that he got into these trouble with these women. I think these are all legitimate. What I feel sorry for Rudy is how far he's fallen. Right? Because he was America's mayor. He had built an entire, he was always shady.
It's all tied up.
Remember,
so right now,
what he did to his ex-wife.
If I wanted to call a taxi cab,
hold on, Attorney.
I don't have a credit card. I don't have a checking account. I have no place I can go take cash out except a little bit that I saved, and it's getting down to almost nothing. I have a business. I can do business expenses. But I'm very careful about that because God forbid I should make a mistake between a personal and a business expense. Unlike Hunter Biden, I go to jail right away.
I'm like Deaf God. That's cap. That looked like a brand new suit to me with a brand new tie. I'm not buying any of that stuff. I don't believe it.
No, he had been
pay those ladies their freaking money, sell a house, sell some stock, withdraw some money out of your 401k plan or whatever retirement plan you have, because we know you got plenty. You pay your fine.
I'm not saying, listen, he should pay the fine. Here's what I'm saying, if you let me finish, is just that he built an entire career on respectability. Then he got caught up with our current president-elect, right? And he lost his mind. And he went all in on trying to perpetuate this election interference argument, which our president has gotten off of, right? Because he's now president. So I just think that I view him as a casualty of it. He did it. He should pay. He's but he's old, right? And now they're going after him. I mean, I'm not saying that people should cry tears for him. I just think that in a couple of years, if not now, there's going to be a college course about the fall of Rudy Giuliani, how he got here, and how you should avoid it.
But here's what gets me.
I think he's earned it. I think he's earned it. He's earned it very well. I mean, this is what I think. Okay, really quickly, and then we'll come to you, Carter. I think he thought that Donald Trump was going to be the president. I think that he thought that Donald Trump had his back along the way, and that he would not have to face these consequences, regardless of anything that he said. I think when Biden won, he almost flipped his wig. Clearly, his dye is dripping from his head because he did flip his wig. I think they got him prosecuted and found guilty in a timely manner, which he never thought that would happen because he thought he could put it off. And I think that now Trump is back in office. He can't save him. All he can possibly do is give him a position to make money, only for it to be garnished. And even Trump's not stepping in and saying anything to save him. Attorney Carter, take it from there.
Preach. Even more important, this the thing is, his fall from grace wasn't that high because he wasn't shit in the first place. we pretend like he was America's mayor. He was America's stop and frisk mayor. He was America's mayor, had brothers pemmed up in the hood. Brothers getting stopped.
You talking about Kamala putting black men in prison?
Oh no,
not true. He did.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, he made his whole bones about cleaning up New York City, meaning keeping black people too scared to even come outside. That was how he got his thing. So I ain't feeling bad for him at all. Also, the idea, that's what I love about it, is that he's like, you know what? Trump got my back. But Trump doesn't have your back. At all. Trump's not going to give you your back. Because here's the thing about the bankruptcy. I realized, I just looked it up, that defamation suit isn't dischargeable. So even if you discharge all your other debts, get your mortgage and all that stuff, you still owe these women their money. Trump's never going to give you any money because he knows it's just going to them. All right?
That's true.
He ain't gonna take his shoe money. By the way, he owed a few $100 million himself. All right. So he ain't giving no money up for nothing. And Giuliani's out there stuck. He will never have another dime again. I don't feel bad for him. All right. As a lawyer, fellow lawyer, right, who actually teaches ethics and talks to lawyers about it. You know what I was gonna say. I can't say it on here, but you know what I was gonna say, Rudy. You can kiss my entire black ass. All right.
All right, Benjamin 12. Hold on.
Get it, Rudy.
Benjamin 12 says Rudy got played by Massa.
He did.
JY said preach. JY says preach, Attorney Carter. And Bernice Johnson says he is 80 but looks 90. All righty, let's keep it moving. Next up, guess what? Algoriters. Adultery is no longer illegal in New York. After over a century, New York has repealed a 1907 law that criminalized adultery. The move aligns the state with modern legal norms and reflects shifting societal attitudes about personal relationships. Now, we know someone who's going through a personal divorce now. Attorney Turner, what do you think about thou shalt not commit adultery being overturned?
Well, it's in the 10 Commandments, right? So thou shalt not commit adultery remains a prohibition against sleeping with other people's spouses. If you want to know some information, read Proverbs, and it'll tell you that if you happen to commit adultery, that whatever the spouse does to you afterwards is deserved. I do have personal experience with it. Won't discuss it on here. I won't drop the name of the woman who committed adultery with my husband, but instead I will focus on the law. So the interesting part about this is that criminalizing adultery is somewhat of an antiquated practice, although it still exists in states beyond New York. So what New York is saying is that if you engage in adultery, it is not a crime. Now, what we talked about a couple shows ago is the difference between criminal action and civil action is that when someone has committed a crime, the potential consequence, if they're found guilty, is that their liberty is restricted, right? As opposed to their pocketbook being affected. So in New York, now you cannot go to jail if you commit adultery. And that's what this law has decided. It didn't say that the 10 commandments weren't right. And it didn't say necessarily that you couldn't sue somebody for it, although that varies by state. So what we were talking about in chambers, and I used to practice in North Carolina, and there's a cool law down there that remains in existence and was applied to Al Reynolds, or Your Honor's good friend, Nene Leakes. And I like Nene, but you can't be messing around with no dudes who might not be 100 about whether or not they're married in North Carolina, because Nene's got money. So what had happened was she was messing around with this dude who was still entangled in his marriage, which means he was still legally married. Like I used entangled because remember that Red Table Talk with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett? What does that mean? But anyway, in North Carolina, if you are someone who has an affair with someone else's spouse, they have this cool law that's called alienation of affection. And what that means is that raises the opportunity for someone to sue you that says the reason my spouse no longer has affection for me is because you alienated their affection, and you can get money. I wish I had moved back to North Carolina, because my life right now would be a lot different. But getting back to the question you posed to me, the New York law just decriminalized adultery, which means nobody can go to jail for it anymore.
All right, Attorney Carter, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. My wife criminalized adultery a long time ago. All right, she's gonna commit several criminal acts against me. That just solved it for me. I had to worry about the statute. I had to look it up. I have my law book right there. But no. And here's the thing that I think is important to understand is that adultery being prosecuted as a crime almost never happens in America. I took a look at it in New York. The last time they even thought about it was 2010, and that's because they caught the woman in a park. Central Park having sex with somebody, and so they were going to throw the book at her for basically public indecency and all that stuff. And even then, they dropped the adultery charge. So usually, it's something that you would add on to something else. All right, you had sex with someone who maybe, for instance, you were an underage person. You might try to throw in the adultery thing there if the man was married to try to enhance the charges. But for the most part, it's a single crime. It's not an issue. That said, it does have other consequences. Attorney Turner mentioned it perfectly. You could get sued. It'll affect your property settlement. In some states, if you're the one who cheats, you're not getting alimony or child support, and so, or at least alimony. So it will, or spousal support. So it matters. It's still don't like by the way, you just saw this show and now you get to run around and just get all up on Ashley Madison. You need to stay off Ashley Madison, all right?
You all when you talk about Ashley Madison, I'm done. Order the court, not Ashley Madison.
Well, Ashley Madison is where married people go to cheat. But the interesting thing brings up,
that's not the only place that they go to cheat.
They also go to the Kaufman's apartment building.
No, they go to other apps. They go to apps and they pretend like they're single, and it's not Ashley Madison. All right, really quickly, because we're running low on time. Hold on there, Turner. All right, Dominic Brooks said, Al, what type of red wine you drinking? I'm on Pinot Noir tonight. Something that I don't drink a lot of, obviously. Let's see, who else we got? Miss P, I like this, Miss P. Adultery may not be a crime anymore to pursue legal action in New York, but it's definitely illegal. She probably meant illegal in God's eyes, and that's all that matters. All right, everybody, that concludes tonight's show. We're going to go to the part where we ask you, the jury, for questions, but there are no questions, so we're going to go straight to the verdict. First up, Wendy Williams. Is Wendy Williams' guardian guilty or not guilty of doing the right thing and becoming her conservatorship? Attorney Carter, what say you?
She is guilty of, I'm sorry. She is trying to actually help Wendy out. I think it's a great thing to do. I'm not sure the lawsuit makes a lot of sense because we've already seen the documentary now. Right? I'm not sure you can unsee it, but she's doing the best to try to to take care of Wendy, and unfortunately, doesn't seem to have family that could do it. So somebody's got to do it.
All right, so not guilty. All right, Attorney Carter, is she guilty or not guilty for being a conservatorship for Wendy Williams?
No, the guardian's not guilty. The guardian's looking out for Wendy's best interest, and I wish her luck.
All right, I'm Al, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court of Public Opinion, and we're going to find the Guardian not guilty of any legal wrongdoing. Next up, Angelina Jolie. Is Angelina Jolie guilty or not guilty of making the divorce hard on her husband or stealing his shares that he could have bought of the wine company? Attorney Carter, what say you?
She is not guilty by reason of the fact that Brad Pitt ain't got no sense.
Attorney Carter, attorney, what say you?
I don't think that's the obligation of any aggrieved spouse to make divorce easy on the person who drove them to it. So no, Angelina's not guilty.
I'm Al, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court, and I'm going to find Angelina Jolie guilty. Guilty is charged. She knows what she's doing. Very smart lady. You undersold, and when you undersold, that lets me know that you did it for malice reasons. Your company is now worth, your shares are worth $80-something million, and you sold it for 60. You did it to get back at him. So I'm finding you guilty for that egregious decision. All right, next up, Drake. Is Drake guilty or not guilty of being a whiner, a crybaby, for being handed his AWS by Kendrick Lamar? Attorney Turner, what say you?
Well, if you phrase it that way, yeah, he is guilty. Kendrick got the best of him in the rap game. That's all there is.
Attorney Carter, what say you?
Look at the picture of him. All right, you said he's guilty of being whiny little bitch. Yeah, look at him. Look at Aubrey. Yes, guilty.
I know you can't talk about the way he looks. Drake is fine, but
all right. I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge here in the court, Celebrity Court. And as a light-skinned brother, I'm standing up for the other light-skinned brother. Not guilty of being a whining crybaby, but he is not guilty for taking no crap, and I think he's been very smart in order to hush all the noise around this ass whipping that he's been receiving for the last 8 to 12 months. All right, next up, Trey Songz. Is he guilty or not guilty of respecting this woman's rights to say no when no means no? Attorney Carter, what say you?
He's guilty. He's guilty of everything. If you no matter what you tell me, if you tell me he's 9/11, he's guilty. All right, 9/12, 9/13. This brother is a menace. I can't believe he on the streets. 6 allegations. So you can tell me once or twice, maybe it wasn't you. 6 times, it's got to be you.
Right. Okay, Attorney Turner, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, Trey Singh is one of your algorithms.
All right, I'm Al, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court, and we're going to find Trey Songz guilty. Guilty because too many of these cases are surfacing, and they all are the same. It's always about some aggression of holding some woman against their will and doing something that they didn't sign up for. Trey Songz, do better. You're talented. You're incredibly handsome. You used to could sing. You're from Virginia. Like me. Come on, bro. We got you. All right, next up, Rudy Giuliani. Is he guilty or not guilty of trying to hide his assets from those black women that he owes tons of money to? Attorney Turner, what say you?
Oh, absolutely. He's guilty of that. He's culpable for what he did, and he should pay. But it's unfortunate he got caught up with the president-elect because he bet on the wrong horse because he thought that horse was going to ride for him, and that horse has sold him out.
All right, Attorney Carter, what say you?
He guilty. He know he guilty. Look how orange he look. You know why? He trying to get matched up with the jumpsuit. So in prison he have camouflage. By the way, there's some criminal case against him too, and Trump can't pardon you for the Georgia stuff. You going to jail, Rudy?
I agree. I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge here in the court, Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. And I think that he's guilty. He's guilty for ignoring and delaying court orders, especially regarding discovery and payments. I think that they should take him for all that he is worth because he is not above the law, and he's definitely not Donald Trump. All right, next up. Oh, I guess the adultery one needs no guilty or guilty sentence. Everyone, as we wrap up today's session, let's remember this. The law is complex, and celebrity cases often bring their own unique challenges. Our discussion aims to shed light on these issues and empower you, our algorithms and viewers, with knowledge. Thank you for your thoughtful questions and your participation. Until next time, keep questioning, Stay informed and always remember the Celebrity Court of Public Opinion is a powerful place where your voice can and will always be heard. Court is now adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.